Okay, Queen Bees. We definitely weren't talking about Pokemon right before I unmuted. Everything's normal over here. Okay. Do I have all of my buttons clicked? I think so. Okay, friends. So here we are together in the days of awe. And what do I have to say about them? I really appreciate the invitation of a calendar, Jewish or otherwise, that invites us into contemplative practice, right? And it's a very interesting idea, these days between the new year and us reckoning with what we are releasing hesitation around. I've been thinking a lot about tashlich, like the throwing away of our old stuff. And in my childhood, it was framed to me as like throwing away our sins, which comes with a whole mess of associations in my head, right? But I'm feeling really curious about the idea of releasing hesitation, and that being something that we can all get behind, around like the idea that maybe there are ways in which we were held back from being fully present with ourselves and our experience over the past year, maybe like a billion quadrillion ways, right? And that we didn't necessarily opt into those things, right? There are many things that have happened around us that have impacted us, whether we've chosen them or not. And I just feel a lot more spacious when I think about the idea of releasing hesitation as opposed to the idea of releasing sin. I don't really know what sin means to me, but if we were going to reframe it, I think I would say something like something that keeps us from arriving in presence, something that pulls us away. And so maybe we can all get behind the idea of releasing the stories and the projections that pull us out of right where we are. And in doing so, inviting ourselves to be hineni, to be right here. This is how we say it in Hebrew, hineni. So I found a prayer from Dory Midnight that I really love for this week. And it says, "Blessed are you, indwelling one, who gives us the gift of pausing in the flow of time to name holiness." Blessed are you, indwelling one, who gives us the gift of pausing in the flow of time to name holiness. What a beautiful invitation for Hineni to be here. To honor that to slow down is to actually arrive in the miraculous wisdom of the moment that we're in. And to honor the pull that pulls us towards wisdom of the next moment. We can honor it and feel it and continue to arrive here, just where we are. And to arrive here and to orient to our feet on the earth and say, this is holy ground, because this is exactly where I am. Even if I haven't done the things that I thought I would have done by now, even if I'm moving at a different pace than I thought I would be, that I honor the holiness of this moment because it could not have happened any other way. And because arriving in this moment just as it is allows me to see the pleasure and the joy of what's available here, rather than what I imagined would be. So take a moment to arrive in your seat, to arrive in your breath. Giving yourself just a little space to slow down, pausing in the flow of time, to name holiness around you. It might be strength or vulnerability that you encountered today that moved you. It might be what you feel in your body right here, right now. And can our collective prayer tonight be to say thank you? Thank you. All of the things that bring us joy, all of the things that bring us frustration, we say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to find holiness, to find connection, to find ourselves. And if thank you feels like a challenging pill to swallow, then offer yourself the breath, right? Some spaciousness around the thank you. There's never not room for more spaciousness, for more ventilation of what it is that we're feeling. And you're in no rush to arrive in a place of feeling good. The invitation is just to arrive. Then you might let your hands come together somewhere along your body, just to encounter the feeling that you can gather what you need and bring it close to you. You have that power. And however it is that you call to all of your spirit guides, all of your wise and well ancestors to support you in your practice, whether that be an om or a hallelujah or the sound that your heart makes. Take a deep breath in. Take all the time you need to make your way to downward facing dog. And as always and forever, the invitation is to give yourself enough spaciousness to let the practice be your own, to let your body be your own, to let your wisdom guide you. And I'm here to be a friend and to keep you company. Any warming up that feels right, and downward facing dog is where we'll meet. Maybe swaying a little side to side. Just feeling into the right and left sides of your body and noticing if they're showing up a little bit differently. And you can start to move with your breath on your inhale, coming forward to high plank. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Just slow and steady, inhaling, coming forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, come forward, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips. Stretch your right leg up and back into the sky. Big breath in. Bring your knee in towards your nose, and then step your right foot forward between your hands, up on your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen your spine, gaze out. Exhale, long pyramid pose, straighten your front leg. Inhale, bend and lengthen. Exhale, straighten. One more time, inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten and fold. Pause here, keep breathing. You can flex your right toes if that feels right. Rebend your right knee. Drop your back knee to the earth. Sweep your arms up. Low lunge. Good. Lift your heart. Lift your gaze just a little bit. Feel your throat stretch. Bring your hands in towards your heart. Take a breath. And then twist to the right. Left elbow outside your right knee where arms can open. when you're ready, hands to the earth, sweep your right leg up and back into the sky. And step your right foot outside your right hand. Drop your back knee to the earth. Turn your right toes out to the right a little bit, knee points out. And then bring your right hand to your right knee, look up and over your shoulder. Lizard twist, you're welcome to come down onto your forearm if that feels good. Just listen to what your bones are telling you here. Good, come back around. You're gonna scoop your right heel back, stack your right knee on top of your left, separate your feet a little bit, and then sit all the way back for Gomukhasana, right knee on top. Lengthen through your spine. You could stay right here. You could fold forward if you like. But if you've been at a desk all day, it might feel good to keep your spine tall and your shoulders broad. We're just going to gently twist to the right. You could stay folded forward and just walk your hands over to the right, or left hand outside your right knee, right hand behind you. Good. Gently come back around. Lift your torso if you haven't already. Keep going to the left. Straighten both legs, folding forward towards the back of your mat. Turn your toes out, heels in. Sink it down for Malasana, yogic squat. Any variation, you could roll up one of the balls of your feet. You could stretch your arms. You could even take crow pose. You got 5 breaths here, or however much time you need. On your next exhale, forward fold at the back of the mat. Toes point forward. Halfway lift, deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Reach up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Step onto your left foot, hug your right knee in towards your chest. Sweep your right leg back, warrior 3. Through your shoulders. Slowly bend your knee. Step back to high lunge. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your arms, straighten your legs. Warrior 2 to the front. Peel up onto the ball of the back foot. High lunge, lift up. Exhale, chaturanga. Hands down, step your right foot back, lower. Take your time, cobra or up dog. Good, y'all, downward facing dog. Exhale, left leg up and back into the sky. Exhale, step your left foot forward, up on your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, straighten and fold, long pyramid. Inhale, bend and lengthen. Exhale, straighten. One more time, inhale, bend. Exhale, long pyramid pose. Slowly rebend your front knee. Drop your back knee to the earth. Low lunge. Sweep your arms up. Bring your hands in towards your heart. Breath in. Twist to the left. When you're ready, unwind, hands to the earth, sweep your left leg up and back, shake it out. And step your left foot outside your left hand. Knee and toes point out to the side, drop your back knee, twist open to the left, hand can come to your knee. When you feel ready, you can unwind in your twist. Start to walk your hands back. Scoop this left heel in. Swing it over to the right. Widen your feet. You're sitting back between your heels for Gomukhasana. Left knee on top. You can press your knees in towards midline a little bit. And feel your sits bones reach down towards the earth. Feel yourself breathing along the whole length of your spine here. And we'll just take a gentle twist to the left. You could be sitting upright or folded forward. Walk your hands over. Gently unwind the twist. Keep walking to the right. Plant your hands, stretch both legs straight. Interlace your fingers at your low back. Halfway lift, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, hands lift up and over. If you feel tightness in your heart, in your throat, give yourself some big breaths. Honor it. You don't have to change it to be with it. Make space for it. Release your arms, halfway lift, deep breath. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Reach tall. Hands to your heart. Step onto your right foot, hug your left knee in towards your chest. Warrior 3. Slowly bend your right knee, step all the way back to high lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten arms and legs. Warrior 2 to the front. Inhale, high lunge, peel up onto the ball of the back foot. Chaturanga, hands down, left foot steps back. Heart open, big breath. Stretch back, downward facing dog. Right leg up and back into the sky. Right foot forward, warrior 1. Ground through your back heel. Inhale to rise up. Cactus your elbows. Pull your right shoulder back just slightly. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Warrior 3, launch forward, hands by your sides. Arms open out to the side, and we're gonna rotate, revolved half moon, left hand down to your block. Right arm up or right hand to your low back for support. Bend your front knee, step all the way back. Warrior two, open it out. Straighten your right leg. Triangle pose. Lean your head back a little bit. Feel your heart broaden in the front. Circle your top arm down towards your hip and around. Drop your back knee to the earth. Half splits. Shift your weight back. Good. Rebend your right knee. Plant your hands. Sweep your right leg up and back. Bend your knees. Stack your hips. Flip your dog. Take it over. You can drop your twist to reset and then unfurl. Lizard pose is where we're going to meet, so take your time, and right foot again steps outside your right hand. Twisting open to the right. This time, if you like, you can reach back for your back foot. Right hand to your left toes and squeeze your left heel in towards your left glute. Come forward of the kneecap a little bit, which might mean letting the hips yield towards the earth a bit. Release your back foot. Turn your right toes and knee to point forward. They're still outside your hands. Tuck your back toes, high lizard pose. You could stay right here inside your foot. You could scoop your right shoulder behind your right knee. You could play around with reaching around for a bind at your low back. Or Ekapada Kundinasana, hands to the earth, bend your elbows. Let your front foot float. You might play around with just bending and straightening the elbows a little bit, bringing your heart a bit closer to the earth. Go ahead, take all the time you need, and side plank is the next shape. So when you're ready, outer edge of the left foot, step your right foot back. Chaturanga on your exhale. Cobra or upward facing dog. Good. Slowly back to downward facing dog. Drop your knees to the earth, seat to heels, child's pose. Bend your elbows, bring your palms together behind your heart, elbows point out. If you want to go deeper with this, you can put a block underneath each elbow and have a little bit more space for the heart to yield towards the earth. Take as much time as you like here. When you're ready, you can extend your arms long across the mat. Rock a little side to side. And then lift up on an inhale to tabletop position. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands, warrior one. Back heel down. Big breath in to reach. And then exhale, cactus your elbows. Soften into your lunge, lift your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up, gaze forward. Exhale, warrior three. Arms sweep back, bend your knee deeply, and extend. Hands up to the heart. You can open your arms wide, and we're gonna set up for revolved half moon. Right hand reaches towards the earth. Left arm up, or left hand to your low back. Good, take as much time as you need. Step your right foot back. Your right arm leads you up. Warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Triangle pose. Circle your right arm down by your right hip and around. Back knee drops. Half splits pose, straighten your left leg. Rebend your left knee, plant your hands, sweep your leg up and back. Left leg up, bend your knee, flip your dog. Feel the earth underneath you. Lizard pose is the next shape. Take your time to get there. Left foot steps outside your left hand. Drop your back knee. We'll take the twist again, looking over your left shoulder. And maybe this time you want to reach back to clasp your right toes and hug your right heel in towards your right glute. Lifted lizard pose. Whenever you're ready, you can release that back foot. Walk your left foot in so the toe and knee are pointing forward, hugging the outer shoulder. And then you could tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. You could stay right here. You could scoop your left shoulder behind your left knee. You could play around with the bind if that feels good. Side plank is the next shape. So when you feel ready, outer edge of the right foot, step your left foot back. And then high plank and slow lower all the way down onto your belly. Cobra pose, lift up. Exhale to lower, locust pose, any variation with the arms by your sides, past your ears. Inhaling to lift up. Back body long. Resting when it feels like time. And you could take bow pose or locust pose again, or setting up for sphinx pose. Forearms out in front of you. Coming down to rest on your belly. Make a pillow with your hands or your forearms. Turn your toes in, heels out, and you can rock your tush a little side to side here. When you're ready, bring your forearms back out in front of you. Gaze between your hands. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees and thighs. And start to walk your feet in closer for dolphin pose. Grounding through your forearms. Maybe walking in close enough so that your heels can start to reach back and down. Get a nice calf stretch. You could play with lifting up onto the balls of the feet and then lowering your heels towards the earth. If you want to, you could lift one leg up towards the sky. Just take your time here. Slow, deep breaths. When you're ready, we'll make it back to downward facing dog. However you like to get there. Sweep your right leg up and back into the sky. Big breath in. And step your right foot forward. Warrior one. Inhale, lift up. Warrior two, open out to the side. Flip your palms, exalted warrior. Reach up and back. Half moon, step onto your right foot. Press off your left toes. Big breath in. Skandasana to the back. Left bone cheek to your left heel. Pivot around. High lunge. Twist to the left. Left arm back, right arm forward. High lunge, find center. Standing splits, hands to the earth, right toes up. All the way up to standing. Hug your right knee in towards your chest and tap down to the earth. And we're setting up for dancer's pose. Right foot back behind you. Left hand can start at your heart or left arm up towards the sky. Lengthen through your front body to soften into the shape. Let it go when you're ready, shake it out. Mountain pose, hands by your sides. Spread your toes. Inhale, reach your arms up, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, deep breath in. Step or hop back to chaturanga. You can leave this out and meet us in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, left leg up and back into the sky, big breath. Step your left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Exalted warrior, inhale, lift up. Half moon, step onto your left foot. Feel the connection between the arch of your right foot and the crown of your head, reaching along. Take all the time you like, Skandasana to the front when you're ready. Pivot around, top of the mat, high lunge, lift up. And a gentle twist to the right, right arm back, left arm forward. Inhale through center, high lunge. Exhale, standing splits. And then hug your knee in towards your navel, come all the way up to standing. Setting up for dancer's pose, left foot back behind you. Feel your heart lift up and then soften forward as you press back with your left shin. There's never been a more potent moment to meet your body exactly as it is and find what feels holy, what feels sacred. Release when you're ready, shake it out. Top of the mat for mountain pose. Reach up, arch back, big breath. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Down dog or chaturanga, whatever your body needs here. Sweep your left leg up and back. Step your left foot forward, high lunge, lift up. Airplane pose, launch forward, reach with your heart. All the way up to standing, hug your right knee in towards your chest. Eagle pose, right leg over, right arm under. Let your forearms lift and then tip forward. Fingertips point down. And then take your time to unwrap to half moon. Arms and legs open out. Oof. Goddess pose. Breathe deep into your low belly here. Thighs are strong, holding you, and also soft at the same time. Straighten arms, straighten legs, lift up. Half moon to the back, step onto your right foot. Slowly up to standing, hug your left knee in. Eagle pose, left leg over, left arm under. Inhale, lift your forearms. Exhale, tip forward, round. Unwrap, airplane pose. Step all the way back to high lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Hands to the earth. Right leg sweeps up and back. Right shin forward for half pigeon. Lengthen through your spine. And then folding or lifting, whatever variation feels right for you here. You might like to grab a pillow and have lots of support underneath your chest or your forearms. And if it feels spacious and inviting, you might just check in with your inner world and see at this point in the practice if you can sense into a little bit of room to sit with whatever feelings or thoughts or sensations started to pop up today, but there wasn't room or time for. Such a legit thing, right? Like, it might be that right before I hop in to see a client or be in a meeting that something taps at my window. And as an act of total honesty, I say, not now, right? This is discernment practice. When there is time and space, we choose to allow ourselves to be held. If we try to choose times when there isn't time and space, then we have the experience of not being held very well, right? So part of the journey of figuring out what safety actually is learning to be able to distinguish between a moment where we can actually get a need met and a moment when we can't. And I wouldn't dare to presume that now is a moment when you can, but I do think it's powerful to check in and ask, is there any room here for me to hold or be held in a way that might be a little bit different from the ordinary consciousness of my everyday life? And how do I embrace that without any mishigas about not having had space for it earlier in the day? Jani Shirshasana is the next shape. So whenever you feel ready, you can lift up, widen your sits bones a little bit. Any variation you like. Side bend over your left leg or folding over your left leg with a long spine. Uttanasana. You can bend your left knee as well. Soles of the feet come together. Hug them in close towards your root. Peel the inner arches of your feet open. Tall spine, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, belly button reaches towards your toes as you lengthen out. Inhale to slowly rise up. We're going to turn to half pigeon at the front of the mat. So bring your left shin out. Stretch your right leg back. If you want to sweep it back and bring it forward again, feel free. Taking your time and then folding over your left leg. Or whatever leg you didn't have forward last time. When the time is right, Janushirshasana. You can lift up, tuck your left foot into your inner right thigh. Take a side bend over your right leg or turn towards your outstretched leg and fold forward. time to get there, you can lift up. If there's any final seated poses, like a forward fold or anything else that your body's calling for, feel free to take it. If you'd like to take a headstand before we lie back, now is a perfect time. And then we're gonna meet on our backs for bridge pose or wheel pose or supported bridge. So you might like to take a block or a bolster back with you and set up with some support. Take your time to be in relationship with the earth first, so feel what's underneath you. Feel your feet and hands connect to it. And then lifting up on an inhale. Resting when your body tells you it's time. You might stretch your legs up towards the sky and shake out your feet. Maybe setting up for a restorative heart opener or another variation of bridge or wheel. Shoulder stand is the next invitation, so any variation of that, it could be legs up towards the sky or legs up the wall. We're going to meet in supported fish, so you can take as much time as you like to move through shoulder stand or plow pose, and then grab your block or roll a blanket up so that you can snuggle it right behind the bottoms of your shoulder blades. Lying back so that your head can release to the earth and your throat and chest are open towards the sky. Offering whatever it is that you've been carrying that feels heavy. If you're ready to put it down, you can offer it through the backs of your hands, through the back of your heart, through the back of your heels down into the earth. much time feels right to you in this heart opener. And just taking the next few minutes to do any final movement practices that feel good. A twist on your back, happy baby pose. Just space to breathe in and out in your own rhythm here. And when it feels like time coming to rest in Shavasana, or any resting pose that feels right on your back, on your side, on your belly. And if it feels good, you might let out a sigh through your mouth. And offer up a prayer. I invite the slowing of time, so that I might have the space to name and recognize holiness. Start to breathe into the tips of your toes. Feel them come alive with your awareness and with your breath. Let your breath and your attention spread through the soles of your feet, the arches of your feet, the tops of your feet, and your ankles. Let your breath and awareness start to move up your calves. Feel your kneecaps fill with light. Feel the backs and fronts of your thighs awaken. Your inner thighs alive. Your pelvis. Your womb space. Your low back and your low belly. Start to breathe deeply into your navel, to your kidneys and your ribs. Feel the cavity of your chest fill with the luminous energy that moves with your attention. Feel that light spill up towards your collarbones, out across your wingspan, down your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, your palms, and your fingertips. Feel that light expand from your sternum up through your throat, your neck, your chin, your ears, your cheeks, your nose, your eyes, your forehead, the crown of your head, the back of your head. Breathing deeply throughout your whole body, filled with the light of your own awareness and your own magic, and the magic of the earth underneath you, here to sustain and support you in deep connection with all of the parts of you that know that you're worthy, that it is your birthright to be held and cherished. And from that place, invite yourself to hug your knees into your chest, to roll over onto one side. Notice what it's like to awaken through your spine from that rooted place. And even to open your eyes and see through eyes that know how holy and precious you are. Giving yourself permission to take the time that you need to release this resting position, but to hold on as tightly as you need to that reminder of your own power and capacity. And I'll read to you about our card today. It's the swan. she's really sweet. There's a reflection of her underneath, so it's a double swan. The swan represents creativity, the sensitive mystic, and elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. When this energy is out of balance, we feel agitated, snippy, or it's hard to envision. And when it's in balance, we feel infinite creative power to bring back into balance solo time, retreat, and writing. Yeah. That feels right on time. I don't know about you, but I've just been feeling my soul calling. Just a call for more tending to the inner sanctuary and the inner fire. And I think sometimes we feel deep discomfort when we hear that calling and we can't immediately sort of change our whole life, right? To be in retreat. And I also think that sometimes feeling that tension between what we know is calling us and what we're actually ready to step into in this moment is part of how we feel into our readiness. Feeling that tension helps us to know that we're getting closer to the time where we're actually willing or able to make the shifts needed to spend the time and the energy that we know that we're worthy of in our own care. So just an invitation to hear yourself, even if it doesn't feel possible yet, even if you're not ready to actually change your schedule or there's a billion other things on the docket, to just hear the longing for space, for spiritual practice, for deep inner nourishment. And to know that that longing is part of the process of getting there. And I see you on your journey, and I'm here with you. So grateful to be in community with you. Thank you, dear ones, for your commitment and your practice. I love you all so much. I hope that if you're honoring or moving through the process of Yom Kippur, that you give yourself so much grace and compassion as you engage in the reckoning. I hope that for all of us, whether we're doing Yom Kippur or not. And I love you so dearly.